there's no point actually to this video. Just after work I decided to go out and walk around the area and see what's happening here in Bišumuiža, more or less. It's like that's the almost the outer part of the city, almost the end of Riga, so to say. This part, it's just, you can feel that it's the outskirts of the city, because we don't even have a walkway here. It's just one on the other side, and here's the tram rails, just one set, which are going to Bišumuiža, and we have a famous song about this tram number 10, which goes to nowhere, so to say, in Latvian. There's such a song. Although nowadays, when they build the southern bridge in Riga, then it kinda isn't nowhere anymore. So on one hand, it is kinda outskirts of Riga. On the other hand, there's still life, of course, after all these old wooden houses and all this lack of infrastructure and old buildings. Because as you see, there have been some new stuff built in the last 15 years or so. I think it's also today's like not the best day, because we all know all these COVID vaccines and AstraZeneca, with all these blood clots and countries refusing to vaccinate people with the AstraZeneca, but we in Latvia fucked up with the purchasing of vaccines, so we have no other choice basically just to use AstraZeneca. We don't have much of any other vaccines. And yeah, here as you see, there's a lot of rough spots, so to say, a lot of mud and bad infrastructure, but yeah, that's how it is. Just one set of tram tracks. But yeah, so we have to vaccinate people, although they've vaccinated 17 million people with this AstraZeneca shot, so only 30 or so people have died from these blood clots, and nobody knows if that's really caused by vaccines. Actually, there's no correlation. They say that these vaccines cause it, but yeah, that's a bit worrying if we also stop using these vaccines with what we can vaccinate people in Latvia here, actually. And there's again one development, as you can see. This is Bišumuiža area, like Bišumuiža quarter. These white houses in the beginning of it, they were built 10 years ago, or it was like before the last big financial crisis. And the next darker ones, that these are more modern ones, recent developments. But as you see, there's this rubbish bins outside, cars just all around, and inside the inner yard. So it's nothing particularly great, although they sold it as some kind of above medium, above average development. Although actually, well, the architecture of course is a bit better than Bonava or Jit here in Latvia, but with all these rubbish bins just outside here in front of everything, it actually, I would rather prefer to live in Jit or in Bonava's new developments than in this place. Although, yeah, they look kind of interesting, and architecture wise, it's of course a bit higher level than these Bonava and Jit creations that we have, that are like the bottom tier, the new commie blocks of Riga that we desperately want to get rid of. And that's that, and then the quarter ends, and we again have the mud roads and some houses here, and unpaved. Some, I don't know even if it's a real road actually, or it's illegal or illegal. Probably it's legal, it's just not paved. So it goes to the Bauska Street there, over the tram track, and just how it is. It's a nice looking house, but really people just live in this area, and they cannot get the city's help to fix up the road, and they just live like that. So it's sad a bit also when we talk about the people's own responsibility about the area in which they live. And here somebody, I guess, started to build a house some time ago, but yeah, nothing came out of that project. So I was just walking along Bauska Street here, and again, it's like some nice looking houses, buildings where people live, and but again, there's no pavement here. Pavement is on the other side, and here's nothing. Here's just this tram track and nothing else. So yeah, all these vaccine things and COVID-19, although it starts to get better in Latvia, it goes away gradually, unless we get this new British version now, like in Estonia, unless it balloons again to some shocking numbers. But yeah, and there's these crab bus stops here that there's no infrastructure at all. So it's kind of sad about these outskirts in Riga. I hope that they can be brought into order, but who will do it? I don't know. City doesn't have that much money, and yeah, and frankly speaking, it's just how it was 15 years ago or 20 years ago and more. Here's the TV tower. I tried to be a bit creative, just looking at it, but it's sad. Yeah, I hope that there will be some kind of project to sort this all out in Riga, because I think we deserve it, and there are some nice area actually, a bit historic one, and some old houses, and further on if we go on the street we can see some like stone houses like from the end of 19th century, also beginning of 20th century, so and they are all in not that great of a shape, so it's really sad. Like this house, it's older, it's rather old, I guess. It's maybe 18th century or yeah.